Hi, thanks so much for clicking on our video. I'm Melissa.
And I'm Ashley, and we are the hosts of Bible and Banter.
Bible and Banter is a space for real conversation through the lens of faith.
We hope to be a reminder that we serve a good God
who left us a living word
to tackle all that life throws our way.
Hey, so let's get into it. We are kicking off our Before Boaz series, which of course was inspired by the book of Ruth in the Bible.
And don't worry, this is not about to be 20 minutes of us trying to teach you how to catch your Boaz. This is more about Ruth's resilience and all the work that she was putting in before she even came across Boaz.
Yep. I think the biggest thing for me during my single season, I'll say, is just not being distracted. And I can get easily distracted, that's just how I am. But I think one of the biggest things the Lord has revealed to me is just going back to what he told me to do prior to that distraction. So I would say my first point is just, going back to what the Lord told you to do prior to whatever knocks you off base. Because when you focus on your purpose, when you're focusing on the things that really just bring the best out of you, the things that get you up in the morning, that make you excited, that don't feel like, another day I have to work on this, I have to do that. Yeah. I think that's one of the best parts of the single season, right? Is like this is the time that you have for yourself to be able to go and do whatever, and you don't have to answer to anyone. You don't have anything kind of holding you back from really going in on what you want to do and what the Lord has called you to do, your gifts and talents, the things that he's brought to your heart, to your spirit. So whether that's writing a book, if that's starting a YouTube channel, right? Like, these are the things that you can do to kind of make the most of your time while you have so much time as a single person.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, I think it's important to take advantage of the fact that you no longer have a distraction. With being in a relationship, yes, you're thinking so much more about that other person. You guys are doing things together, yep, and then you have your own drama with them. And so a lot of times, there's really no space for your creativity. You may not leave as much room for prayer and to really talk to God. And so I think during this time, it's just so important to just be like, don't be consumed with, oh my gosh, I'm single now what I'm going to do, what will I do now? Like, now is the time to put in work. Now is the time where God is like, what, I've been trying to talk to you, I've been placing this on your heart, right. Like, you have no excuse not to go after it now. Like, I just can recall, like, after my last relationship, and once I kind of got past that, I just, like, my creativity started flooding back to me. I became more involved in my church.
Isn't it crazy how that happened?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like...
It's like right after, and then it's like, wait, what was I doing before?
What was I...
What?
Right, to the point where, when he tried to reignite the relationship, yeah, I'm like, listen, right now, I'm focusing on me. Okay. I am in a good place right now, in a good space, and I'm not ready for you to be back in my life right now. And so it's okay to, be quote unquote selfish at times. So.
Oh yeah. And I feel like with the man that God has for you, it's only going to help lift you to that next level. Like, that man's going to compliment you in such a way that he's going to want you to be doing those things that you're really into.
Exactly.
And encourage that, and support you in that, and have his own things going. So less of a, like, we're obsessed with each other so we can't do anything else outside of each other, and more of like, hey, I know you're doing this and I'm doing this and we're rocking together, like teamwork.
Right, exactly. Like, you're helping each other build whatever it is that you're trying to build, and not being the reason that person is stalled in that.
You're still here, which basically means we're already best friends. So why don't you like this video, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell so you don't miss any of our series.
And be sure to join the conversation in the comments below. Like, let us know how you are killing your single season, what you have going on now that you have no distractions. And if you're booed up, it's okay. Drop some gems for us down below. It's okay.
Let us know how to get him in. Okay, maybe you know something we don't.
Maybe you should be telling us after Boaz.
We want to know.
What I mean? What's that? I just want to know, what's that like?
Okay. So, thank you. So going into our next point, I would say definitely pray for your husband. I mean, you want to pray continuously during this season, but especially whenever you're one of the ladies who are really struggling with the loneliness of not having a man by your side and things like that. I get it, girl. I get it. It gets tough some days, you know, and then especially when it starts getting colder, you're like, man, you know, and you go do cute things. You're like, I wish it would sure be nice to have someone. You know, I get it. I do that too. But what you want to do when you have those moments is just take that time to just pray for him, pray over him, pray that he is really becoming the man of God that you need him to be, the same way that you want to pray to be the woman of God that he needs to be. Because at the end of the day, you know, we're looking for men of God, men of faith, people who understand who God has called them to be, and then who are going to be the potential leaders of the household, right? So he could be working on his own thing right now, and that's the reason why the Lord has not brought him into your life. So I would definitely recommend praying for him, especially in those moments when you do feel the most lonely or the most like you need a guy in your life, instead of running to, you know, someone you shouldn't be with, or trying to just do things out of impatience. Take a second, breathe, you know, and then pray over him, and pray over him some more.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, just like you're putting in work right now and there's no distractions for you, you know, that's the same thing that, you know, I would hope that whoever is for me, that he's doing now, that he's working on healing things that haven't, you know, just open wounds that he hasn't addressed, just working on growing spiritually, because at the end of the day, you know, you want to get him not when he's incomplete and he's necessarily broken, and then you have two broken people coming together trying to fix each other.
No.
You know, you want to make sure that you're praying that he's getting everything that he needs, so that when you guys come together, you guys build each other up instead of break each other down because you have unhealed wounds.
Oh, speaking of that, I think that's perfect for our final point, which is making sure that you are getting healing. And healing is an everyday process. It ebbs and flows. There's going to be days when you're feeling like on top of the world, like I can do this, I'm feeling good, I don't care about so-and-so, I don't care about this thing. And then there's going to be days where you're just broken and you feel like the heaviness of the world and don't understand why things are the way they are, or whatever your particular situation is. Seek out healing for that. I know a lot of women who go to therapy for it, which I definitely recommend. If you can get Christian counseling, I would highly recommend that mostly. But make sure to just prioritize yourself, your healing in this season, because you deserve it. If nothing else, even if the Lord doesn't bring your husband to you, you can be healed and happy with yourself. And you get to a point where you are just so filled with joy and contentment, because not because your life is perfect, but because in this season, I'm okay with it just being me. I'm okay with just having me. And it's a freeing sensation, ladies, whenever you know that you are enough. And if someone gets added to that, he's only going to complement that and increase what's already great, which is you.
Yeah, no, exactly. And it also, you know, during that healing, sometimes you might not even realize like that you have things that haven't healed from your past, whether it's, you know, being bullied in school that created insecurities as an adult, or whatever it might be. And sometimes just like reflecting back and kind of really taking a self-assessment, like, okay, in my last relationship, don't focus on, oh, things were wrong because he did this, he did that, but like think about, take accountability also for what you put forth, and it helps you kind of look at, wow, man, I wonder why I did that. You know, one of the things I learned just after, you know, in retrospect, looking back and through spiritual growth and just kind of really facing myself in the mirror, was that I just allowed myself to kind of, I lost myself in my previous relationship. You know, I've always been thought that I was a very strong-willed person, very, you know, rooted person, grounded person. And I got with someone and, you know, we were both broken in different ways. And he was coming in, you know, with depression issues from unhealed things that happened in his, you know, in his past, in his childhood. And I came in like, oh, I'm going to show him the love that he never received. Like, I can feel the love of God, right? You know what I mean? And what he needed was the love of God, not necessarily the love of Ashley. That was because what I had,
that's it.
You know, that depleted me. And so I didn't realize how much he wanted me to be his sole source of happiness, and how much of a people pleaser that I was, that I tried to be that.
Yes.
And you know, things just derailed from there. I mean, it just completely depleted me, and I think that looking back on that now, you know, that's something that I can pray about within me. You know what I mean? To have more discernment, to not need to feel this need that I have to be everything to everybody, because I'm not God. And at the end of the day, if I'm trying to be that, I'm trying to be God. Okay. So I think it's very, very important to just really focus on your own healing, and focus on, you know, self-awareness, and really like reflecting back on like, wow, you know, what was causing me to act like that? Is that really of God? Is that really something that was healthy?
Right.
And so, yeah, definitely make sure. And therapy is so important. I know it can be so taboo, especially in certain cultures, but it's so important to talk to kind of someone who has no other connection to you, and no other, you know, biases, you know, as far as like who they knew you to be or who they think you are. They're just coming in, you know, blank slate. So
agreed. And I loved all of your points. I'm like, yes. Just wanted to point out once again, who is your source?
Right.
Who is your source? When you're looking for a relationship, why do you feel like you keep going in circles? Because I know for me, I kept on finding the same guy with a different face. You know what I mean? Like it was crazy, because in the moment I'm like, nah, this guy's super different. He's nothing like the last guy. And then he did exactly like the last guy. And I'm like, how am I here again? It's like you wake up and you're like, I'm really repeating a cycle. Right. And so I want to just highlight to ladies who kind of can relate to that you have to understand who your source is. Because I know for me, in my previous relationships, I made them my source. They were my little G God. In a lot of ways, I wanted the Lord to bless what I chose for me instead of what he chose for me. Because there would be times when I had the discernment that this probably is not the one. Yeah. But I'm having fun. But I'm enjoying the moment. Oh, I'm just trying to live it up. Da 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 da. He's got this and this and this going for him. But you know when it's not real. Like you definitely know. Because you try to fight it as much as possible. It's just
you try to bring him to church.
You try to bring look. If you have to bring him to church, he just need to come. He's gonna come with me on Sunday. He doesn't come every Sunday, but it's because y'all don't understand, you know, his situation. Listen, if that man is not already in church, and he's not trying to go to church. He's not trying to go to church, and we should not have to force him. You're not his mother, right? We're not forcing men to go to church in 2020, okay? No one can really go to church right now, but he really doesn't have an excuse. He could just turn on YouTube, you know what I mean? Turn on something. Right. But all that to say, you know, who is your source? Where is this coming from? Does this man truly have a relationship with God outside of you and outside of your influence? Is he only trying to act like he has a relationship with God because he knows you do? Or is this something that was already important to him prior to? Because in a lot of the choices that I made in men, they were Christian on paper only. And I'll just leave it at that for now. But yeah,
we won't dig into that.
Maybe at a later date. That really is. Hey y'all, thank you so much for tuning into our first episode ever of Bible and Banter.
And if you are still here and you stuck around all the way to the end, you are a real one. So you might as well, you know what, go ahead, click like, subscribe, and the bell notification so you can join the conversation when we jump on here again. And you know, pass this around, share it with your friends and family, those who are in their single season, or
we're in this together.
We're all in this together. All in this together. All in this together. Yes. And you know what? Always remember that Jesus loves you.
We love you.
And you are more than enough.
Bye.